Okay, so I figured I'd put this together really quick because I couldn't find a designated disassembly video for the Turtle Beach Recon Controller, and it was really frustrating for me trying to take this apart without knowing where these two hidden screws were behind this sticker. So if you get nothing else, the most important part of this video, these are not hard to take apart once you know it. They come apart very similarly to Microsoft controllers, so if you've done those, you can do this. It's just that the two screws are hidden behind the sticker here and here instead of in the center underneath the battery pack area like they are on Microsoft controllers. But we've got this here. It's been apart several times already, so I figured I'd go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take those screws out. We're going to use Cappy Boppy's going to hold screws for us. So on mine, I only have to take out 5 because, like I said, I actually broke both of these screws when I pulled it apart the very first time. So that's all I have to do. And then the other side of this that's a little tricky is these molded grip plates are held between this piece and the bottom piece. They don't snap together, they're just held there. But these interior grip pads actually snap in after you have assembled the two case pieces. You can buy these. They come free in all sorts of parts kits. The upper piece of the case should just lift right up. Well, let's do it from the bottom because the motherboard and all the buttons and stuff are actually attached to the top. The rumble packs unclip from the motherboard fairly easy right here. Be really careful when you're pulling on that because the last thing you would want to do is rip this. The last thing you want to do is rip the framing right off of the motherboard because then you're going to have to solder it back on. So just be really careful and gentle. So this ribbon cable is what connects this piece here with all of the audio to the motherboard. So you're just going to reach in past the ribbon cable and flip up this little black lever right there. And this tugs down. There are 4 Phillips head screws here, 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 and then matching on the other side, there and there. Once those 4 screws are removed, the way that you're going to do this is lift up from the back and it'll kind of slide towards you. And it'll just pop right out. You want to be gentle, obviously, never force anything, but the reason that it pops back towards you is this piece here is curved like that, and so to remove this piece you have to lift the back and then slide it out like that. And that gives you access to all of your buttons and stuff. You do still have this upper portion here that is attached to the faceplate with, looks like 6 more Phillips screws. And you can remove the other side of this ribbon cable here by flipping up that black lever. I'm not going to do that because there's really no reason to disassemble that any further. Here's your motherboard with your joysticks and stuff on it, triggers, charging. Not a whole lot to it. Reassembly, fairly simple. It's just in reverse. Might take some finagling to get the joysticks to allow you to slide this back through, but just reach underneath and wiggle them until it all falls right through. When you're putting anything back together like this, it's best to take your time and be gentle. Don't force it. If it's not aligning properly, there's a reason for it. And if you force it, you're more than likely going to break something. And then we're going to need to reattach the ribbon cable. This is probably, there's a few different ways you can do that. I think it's easier to put the motherboard back in the controller because otherwise you have to like flip it over the other way and then flip it over, and then you're dealing with trying to align everything while the ribbon cable is attached. Also worth noting, your ribbon cable will look different than this one. I actually tore the ribbon cable and ended up finding a replacement online, so mine looks slightly different. Just make sure that you flip this black piece here all the way open, and then make sure your ribbon cable is going in the right way. And I'm gonna put my rumble packs back on. I don't think the rumble packs are specific. It's like side specific. I could be wrong about that, but the grip plates definitely are. So just make sure you get your grip plates straight and make sure that the holes are aligned properly when you put these in there. It has one way that it fits, so make sure you line that up correctly. You have a few wires that are kind of hanging around from your triggers, the blue and red cables on each side. And then you have the black and red cables coming off the rumble packs. I like to make sure they're kind of tucked out of the way and that when you pull the triggers and stuff, it's not going to make a difference. Also, you can make note of the locations where your screw holes are. If you still have your original 2 screws underneath the sticker, this will matter more because you'll want your ribbon cable and both sides of your trigger cables to clear this hole and this hole, because that is where those screws are going to come through. For me, it doesn't matter because mine are busted. Make sure it goes on easily. You shouldn't pin anything. And I like to hold it like this and kind of test button functions. And if everything sounds good, I'll start with that middle screw to really hold everything together. So you'll have 7 to put in because you will do it the right way and remove those 2 screws from behind the sticker, not like me and just break it. So once all your screws are back in, your paddles still click properly, triggers feel like they are pulling right, everything feels right, then these just snap right in. If you disassemble this, the Turtle Beach controller actually has a baked-in recalibration process, and I will make a very, very short video that shows how you do that. I think it's a really cool feature Microsoft controllers don't have, and it can fix your drift issues. These little guys, each joystick has 2 of them. You can find videos online already showing how to replace these without doing soldering, so I'm not going to get into that. That can help with drift stick. It's helped me with some of my Microsoft controllers. This video is more of just a how do you disassemble it, reassemble it, if you want to change out joysticks and stuff. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you have a great day.